Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation to Ravi for inviting me here and to give us the opportunity to be part of this environment. I must say it's very impressive, and I commend Ravi for all the work that he's done. You have heard about our work in the e-government survey, which I'm sure that you are aware of. We will talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. But today, I would like to present some remarks on behalf of my colleague, Mr. Vincenzo Acquaro, who could not be here, unfortunately, due to prior commitments. And tomorrow, we will talk a little bit about the United Nations' own efforts in e-government, which is in particular in terms of assessing the services and including other community services like my other colleague, Mr. Basja, has referred to. So allow me, please, to present some remarks on our work at the United Nations on e-government. It would have been my great pleasure to address this important event in person. Unfortunately, prior commitments prevent me from doing so. Nevertheless, I would like to share with you a few thoughts through this statement that I hope will be useful for your discussions. ICTs can be a powerful tool for human development with beneficial effects on health, education, and commerce. My remarks will focus on a few trends that are taking place on a worldwide level in the field of e-government and e-governance. Many issues need to be addressed here for the successful implementation of e-government. That is because multiple knowledge sources, multiple IT systems and architecture, multiple devices and access channels, multiple process structures, and multiple parties, which include other governmental authorities and clients, are needed to bring this into a holistic level. Different user groups require diverging service needs and interaction requirements. In recent years, there has been an emphasis away from structural devolution and single-purpose organizations towards a whole-of-government approach. The slogans "joined up" and "whole of government" provide new labels for the old doctrine of coordination in public administration theory and practice. However, of paramount importance is the concept of an integrated service model for achieving a seamless government. Instrumental to the successful application of such a model is the organizational separation of the front office, which bundles the citizen services, and the demands from the back office, which satisfy these through the adoption of adequate business processes. Technical interoperability of e-government solutions demands the establishment of an IT infrastructure which allows for the efficient exchange of information between different levels of administration, which are both horizontal and vertical. It also presupposes that there is a homogeneous equipment between all actors involved and a significant number of end users. A high level of initial investment is also needed, which must be embodied in the long-term vision and strategic planning in order to successfully implement an integrated e-government solution. Service delivery platforms often require the integration of telecom and IT capabilities and the creation of services that cross technology and network boundaries. It is worth noting here that the movement from vertical to network governance beyond moving silos is a global trend driven by various business and societal forces, such as the plummeting costs of collaborating technologies, outsourcing trends, the growing complexity of problems that demand cross-governmental and cross-sector responses, and the growing demands on part of the citizen for personalized and integrated services. Modern e-government is built around a service-oriented architecture which demands that the defined walls around public units should be removed in order to ensure the flow of information. A new challenge in this respect is how to strengthen privacy for the citizen by creating mutual transparency between public administration and the citizen. Governments throughout the world are also increasingly introducing choice-based solutions so that citizens can make more informed decisions. Citizens also demand multiple channels into public service and governments are faced with the complexities of creating one-stop-shop organizations where citizens can access a wide range of services and transactions in one place. These trends are also accompanied by an increasing personalization in e-government service provision and an increasing level of participation by citizens through the web in government affairs. To support an equitable distribution in social economic development, there is a need to ensure that e-government services are also geared towards addressing the needs and concerns of the disabled and the vulnerable. If successful e-governance is to materialize, a high level of leadership and vision are necessary ingredients into the process. Leadership and vision are essential to ensure integrated e-government planning and provision. Leadership is also required to acquire the necessary resources and initial investments that are needed to make an integrated approach feasible. It is needed to motivate staff and put in place the necessary human resources frameworks. It is also needed to support dealings with external partners in the private sector and other stakeholders. It is needed to evaluate different technologies and to understand product life cycles, key players, and risk management issues. And it is needed to ensure coordination across ministries and agencies. It is therefore a vital element in the e-government transformation that governments appoint an official with real authority across departmental and ministerial boundaries with guiding decision-making and setting strategy regarding the country's ICT architecture. And this official who assists governments in their efforts to run more effective and efficient programs. Many countries have appointed such a CIO, but surprisingly, there is no systematic database on who these people are. Towards this objective, the United Nations Office has embarked on an ambitious effort to collect and systematize information regarding the CIOs of UN member states. The pressure to obtain better value from public administration information technology investments is growing. Leadership and vision in this context are therefore becoming increasingly important in implementing successful e-government approaches. Public agencies around the world are increasingly supplementing their service delivery channels with online services and continue to establish several policies and rules for improving service delivery. At the same time, customer-focused companies in the private sector are causing citizens to demand more from governments. Better service quality, one-stop shop delivery, more choices, more personalization, a greater participation by citizens is in the affairs of the government. E-government is thus the key to providing solutions to all these demands. We in the United Nations, as you know, undertake to assess all 193 member states of the world in terms of their e-government readiness. The UN e-government survey 2012 will attempt to focus on some of these issues that I just mentioned before, which are namely infrastructural issues and how emerging technologies such as broadband are leveraged to better deliver online services and mitigate the adverse impact of the digital divide. It will also look at the rising importance of the whole of government approach, one-stop shop, and integrated online service delivery. The issue here would be how citizens can access these services with an ease without the need to understand government organizations. The UN e-government survey 2012 will also look at accessibility issue to marginalized groups so that vulnerable groups are not only included in accessing online public services, but are also active partners engaged in interacting with the government. The 2012 survey will also look at the issue of service usage and citizen satisfaction. In other words, how governments are sharing information on service usage and feedback given by citizens concerning online services and e-participation initiatives, as well as how public awareness to e-services provided by the government should be increased. The e-government survey will also look at multi-channel service delivery, in particular the availability of mobile services, the provision of free connectivity through public kiosks and other facilities, and how these approaches will help advance economic efficiency and effectiveness in government service delivery. Finally, in view of the Rio +20 United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, which all of you know is scheduled for next year, this UN eGovernment survey will assess the contribution of e-government to environmental sustainability. The focus here will be on understanding the role of e-government in providing information and services for promoting advocacy and information for environmental resource management and climate change, especially as it relates to the delivery of citizens and services. I invite you to attend the session tomorrow in terms of more information on the trends in UN e-government readiness of member states, including those in Asia and India, and I thank you for your attention today.